What's up, guys? This is Deandra Chanel, the host of the DC Power Hour. And with me, I have an amazing talent. I am very excited for this interview because I see myself as a mini me in this amazing young lady right here because she is living a dream and she started very young, which is very admirable. She is a pageant girl. She's an actress. She's a model. But the most important title I think that she has, and I think you would agree, Charlie, is designer. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, Charlie. So let's talk to Charlie of Charlie Designs. How are you, Charlie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So I want to talk to you about you as an individual. You are how old?
I'm 9.
You're 9 and you have lived the life of like 20 adults. Yes. Because you not only have modeled, you're acting,
Yes.
and you're also a designer,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how your career started. How old were you when you started doing your
So-
first industry gig?
So, I moved to California for acting, but a month later, I got a modeling job
Okay.
on a yacht.
Look at you living all of our dreams. And how old were you?
I'm 9.
But how then?
Oh, I was
4. See, working on yachts at 4 years, I don't think you get how amazing your life has already started to be. Like, you're on boats, on yachts, you're doing pageants. Like, how did that feel for you? I mean, you're only 4 at that point. So how are you feeling at that moment?
very confident and a little bit scared.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay. So take me back here because I want to live in this too because at this point I'm 38 years old and I haven't even been on a yacht, right? Okay. So you're 4 years old. You get your first modeling gig. You're on a boat. You get on this boat. What's next?
Um, well, I got to keep one of the outfits,
Okay.
but it didn't fit a month later.
Okay. So let's talk about the job itself. Like, what did you have to do?
I had to model like 3 designs,
Okay.
and I mean it was really really fun.
Okay. What was the concept? Did they say?
Not really.
Okay. So it's just like a whole bunch of cool kids on a boat.
Yeah.
Like on just riding.
Yes.
And we're just like modeling for, so were these swimsuits, were these dresses, like were they beach dresses?
These were like kind of like a party dresses.
Okay.
Um. Yeah.
Was there like a celebration involved? Was it
Not really.
okay? So we're just kind of living the life of luxury as a kid on a boat. So we're modeling, and then did we ever get into acting?
After that, yes.
Okay.
I got an agent.
Okay, so let's talk about our first acting job and how you felt.
So this was a few years later,
Okay.
and so my favorite job was for NJM,
Okay.
insurance company, Mascot Under the Bed.
Okay.
I had really fun time doing it, and I had to flip over the bed.
Oh, jeez. You're just living everybody's dream, aren't you? Getting paid to act out. So let's talk about your move. What made you decide that you wanted to act? Was this something that you wanted to do since you were like a baby? Like,
Well, so I memorized everything, like movies and everything. So I also got to help in a play
okay.
because any time someone said line, I would say the line.
Okay. So that's what made mom say, "Hey, there's something here."
Yes.
Right? Okay. So when you guys moved, so you decided that your mom asked you, "Hey, do you think this is something that you want to do?" And you're like, "Yes." Right? So you guys as a family made the decision to moved to California.
Yes.
Right? So, do you realize how cool that is
Yes.
to have a mom that sees your talent and says, hey, I think we have something here. Let's move all the way across the country to have her live her dreams.
Well, now I realize how cool it is.
Yeah, because honestly, there's a lot of kids out there that have talent, but it's very rare that you find parents that believe in the child and are willing to up and just go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but now look where you are. Can you imagine, like, had mom not said, hey, let's get up and go? We wouldn't know who Charlie Designs is.
Yeah.
Right? So, fast forward into my topic of choice, fashion. Okay. And you decide that you want to design.
Yes.
Young lady, where do we go from I'm acting, I'm modeling, and then you're like, you know what? I think I want to make clothes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how?
So I when I was really little, I still do it sometimes now. I made clothes for my dolls.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, I got to model for Dior.
Girl,
And
Jesus, honey. Just pulling them out like, I got a model for Dior. Bam. Okay. Check that. Okay.
and then a few days later, I decided I wanted to design.
Okay. So, talk to me about this Dior gig. It was clothing.
Yes.
Okay. How did you feel when you got that? Wait, before we continue with that, you're 9 years old at this point. You're very mature for your
That was
age.
3 years ago.
But you now, as a 9-year-old girl, okay, do you know what that actually is? How big of a deal it is to have model? Did you know then?
Yes.
Okay. So you get the call, you audition, clearly, right? You get the call back from the agency and they say, hey, Charlie, guess what, girl? You got the Dior job. Tell me your emotions at that moment.
Very, very excited. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Has there ever been a job that you've done that you were so nervous that you felt that you just couldn't do it?
Not really.
Okay. Do you know what that says about you?
I'm very confident.
And resilient. Because to be so young and to be able to have that confidence, say, I got it. It's cool. It's cool. And you've mastered everything in your craft. And you're such a humble soul. The times that I've met you, you've been so sweet. And congratulations to you for all your success, number one. And shout out to your mama, okay, for keeping you humble. Now, I want to talk about the designing aspect in itself. What was the very first thing that you started to design? Where did you start? What genre of clothing?
So, my first design, part of it was a shower curtain.
Okay.
And so it was like, it was two pieces.
Okay.
The skirt had like, the shower curtain had butterflies on it. So
Okay.
I like put like more fabric over top of it, so that way when you opened it up, it would show the butterflies.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And the top, it had like a flowery texture on it,
Okay.
and it buttoned in the back, like
It
behind
was,
the neck.
oh, right here. Just one button here. Okay.
And yeah, that's my first design.
So when you were making clothes for the dolls, What exactly were you doing? Were you taking particular little fabrics, or were you taking like,
I took anything I could get my hands on.
okay, and you just started to make, but you obviously didn't have the sewing ability yet, right?
Not yet.
Okay. So what were we doing exactly? Were we just kind of making holes and stuff and putting,
I kind of like made holes and for the arms and put the arms through, and then like tied it.
oh, around? So you just kind of made like a little
Yeah.
skirt or like a little top or something like that,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So fast forward, and you take this serious. Okay. And you say, hey, mom, just so you know, I want to do fashion now.
Well, she walked into the room one day and saw what I was doing,
Okay.
and so she said, "Would you like to do it for real life?" And so I said, "Yeah."
Shout out to you, mom. Okay. So now that mom says, okay, this is what you want to do. What's your next step? Where do we start? Do you start by learning how to sew?
I just started by like drawing the dresses, and then she would sew most of it
Okay.
for me. I mean, I would pick out the fabrics and stuff, but she would sew most of it.
Okay. Now, when you're doing your sketching, what is your, we all as designers have an inspiration to our work. When you think of what inspires you, like me, for example, I am inspired by fabrics themselves. I am, I see a fabric, I'm like, I can make something out of this. And the idea comes to my head as I watch the fabric when I see it at the store. How are you inspired by the designs that you have?
Um, Kind of like how you're inspired by doing things. I do look at the fabrics sometimes, or I draw the dress first.
Okay.
Um, but sometimes I just pick out the fabric and then draw it.
So you do your sketching based off of the inspiration of your fabric,
Yes.
or you have an idea in your head of what you want to make, and then you grab the fabric and you
Yes.
get started. Okay.
Yes.
So you brought in an original today.
Yes.
Okay, and what is that exactly?
This dress was for my pageant,
Okay.
and I put little buttons on the inside backwards,
Okay.
so that way I could put like a cape on top.
Oh,
or
nice.
Something.
Can you stand up and show the audience your beautiful dress?
I would love to.
So tell us a little bit about the fabric.
So this fabric, it's got like little sparkly dots all over it,
Okay.
and well, it's one of my favorite colors. That's partially why I picked this fabric.
It's gorgeous, by the way, and
Thank
great
you.
minds do think alike, honey. But I think this is absolutely amazing. And then when you made this specific dress, was there anything that you had in mind when you were,
Not necessarily,
okay?
but I was thinking like a cute dress with a cape and two-piece, but it turned into a whole entire dress.
Well, it looks absolutely stunning on you, and you did such a great job. Thank you so much. I'm going to have a seat. I heard a rumor that you, young lady, have done 32 fashion shows.
I did.
Oh my goodness. What an accomplishment. So, when did you do your very first fashion show?
The second year I started designing.
Okay. So, I love a good story. So, take us back to the very first time that you did your first fashion show. Where did this idea to do fashion shows come from?
Well, I did have inspiration from the dolls that I put clothes on.
Mm-hmm.
So I made some of those in real life, and I let models wear them for the
Oh
show.
my goodness. That is so cool. So you took the inspiration from your dolls, your Barbies, I'm assuming?
Yes.
So from your Barbies, and you brought basically the doll to life.
Yes.
and you took the designs that you had on the Barbies and you found the same exact fabric and put them on, obviously, models. Were these kid models at this point?
Yes.
Okay, so you started off in children's.
Yes.
Okay, so how many designs did you do at that point?
Like 11.
Okay.
At least.
So then, fast forward, you come out with you have a full line.
Yes.
Okay, and then someone says, or you say, I'm ready to do a runway show. Yes?
Yes.
Or is this mom's idea?
Well,
Paris.
Paris Harriet. Wait a minute. Okay, let's go back. Rewind. How did we meet Paris Harris?
Well, he hooked me up with my first show.
Okay.
So, my first show was with Paris, and it was really fun. I
Okay.
got to make a lot of friends.
And you knew him from prior things?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, older women,
Okay.
started asking if they could model for me.
Oh.
And so that's how I started doing.
Runway shows.
Yeah.
Okay. So your first runway show, was it kids only?
Yes.
Okay.
My first few.
Your first few. Okay. So you do your first where is this fashion show?
I forget.
Okay. What was the theme of this particular line?
Sparkle and shine.
Okay. So you do Sparkle and Shine. You do your first show. You hit the runway.
Yes.
How was it received?
That was actually how I started having women come up to me and ask.
After the show.
Yes.
Okay. So fast forward. You get a standing ovation, clearly. You have people who love your things.
Yes.
And they know, hey, you know that little girl dress right there? Can you make it for me and big people?
Yes.
That's pretty much how that went, right? So then you decide to start dabbling in
Yes.
women's fashion. Okay.
And then I started doing little boys, and it turned into men.
Okay. So we did a full line of children, girls
Yes.
and boys. And then these adults were like, hey, that's cool. I could see myself wearing that.
Yeah.
Right. So then we start doing our first women's line.
Yes.
Okay. So when it comes to the sewing aspect of this, do you and your mom work as a team?
Yes.
Okay. So obviously, what do you find is the most interesting thing about the sewing process?
Well, I like doing it by hand, but
Okay.
it's faster doing the sewing machine.
The machine.
Yeah.
Right. So do you feel like there's a lot more love in it when you do it by hand? Or is it just an easier process?
It's just an easier process.
Okay.
For me, at least.
So how long does it take you to do one, like let's just say a dress, right? Like a simple dress. How long is the process for sewing for you?
Well, it would take about 3 hours, maybe,
By machine or by hand?
by machine.
Okay. And by hand?
By hand, it would take a whole entire day.
Okay. So how many total pieces, if you know this, how many total pieces have you done so far?
Over 100.
Over 100. That's so cool. Do you feel, clearly you're only 9. Where do you see yourself being? Like, what is it that you would need to do in order to say, I made it as a designer?
Not copying after a different dress.
Do you think that you copy after different dresses?
Well, I had an order for, like, a person. I usually do, like, a unique order, like, on, like, whatever you want. If it's,
Custom made orders.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they showed me a picture of what they wanted. It was a different dress,
Okay.
and they wanted it almost exactly like that.
Okay.
So that's how I don't really like copying after
I see.
other designs.
So you would see that more of a seamstress job as opposed to a designer,
Yes.
right? Got you. Okay. So you're waiting for the day that someone says, I want a Charlie Designs original. Okay. But I think you've done that. You don't think so, Sudie?
I did do it like once or twice.
Okay. But I think in itself, when you have people asking you for your stuff, that's it. You've made it
Yes.
already. You've already had. That's how we were able to get into women's in the first place.
Yes.
Because you had women that are like, oh, that's cute. And they like what you do.
Yes.
So you should be very proud of yourself.
I am.
So you are a certified designer regardless. Do you feel, where do you see your designs in the next 5 years or so?
I see me still doing a few shows.
Okay.
And I see a lot more clothes,
Okay.
like different designs,
Okay.
and yeah.
Of all of the types of designs that you do, men's, women's, boys, girls, which one do you like the most?
Kids are easier,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's like, it depends on what I'm trying to make, though.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do you have a favorite like type, or is like it's all in one? You just like designing as a whole.
I just like designing.
That's great. You know, you have found your calling when you are truly like inspired to do it. Like you want to constantly do it. Do you see yourself owning like a fashion house?
Yes.
Who are some of the designers that inspire you?
A lot of them, actually.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
Filters.
Oh yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see yourself being a big name like a Versace or a Chanel or Louis Vuitton?
Yeah.
How long do you give yourself, if any time, or do you just kind of want to do it slow and easy?
Just slow and easy.
Yeah. You're truly an inspiration. Do you know what this is? Do you know what exactly it is that you're living right now?
Sort of.
It still hasn't registered completely?
Yeah.
I want you to take some time to take a breather, sit down and realize what you are doing. Because in no time, because I don't know if you've done any designs for big names or if you've met any big name people, but the way you are going, young lady, I will tell you, I see sky is the limit for you. You are truly going to inspire many people. I want you to talk to the audience about what it's like to be a 9-year-old designer.
It is hard,
Mm-hmm.
but once you start, it does get easier.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're missing out on anything as a kid?
Sometimes, but most of the time, I think it's fun to, do all of this.
So you see so the design studio is kind of like your playground in a way.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. That's always a good way to look at it. Because a lot of times you're going through the same thing that a lot of like child actors go through, where they are working in an industry where they're having fun, they love what they do, but they're around a lot of adults.
Yes.
And they have to grow up a little bit faster. Do you believe that children should take a break if they're in an industry like this, whether it be acting or singing or designing, and take the time to be a kid?
Yes.
You think so? You think that there should be a time where we take a break
Yes.
and kind of just like maybe about a year, 6 months, and kind of be like, I just want to be a kid. I want to go to school. I want to have regular friends, things like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you think? Speaking of which, you have obviously you go to school,
Well,
right?
I have online school.
Oh, you homeschool. Oh, okay. So, but obviously you still have friends. You have other friends that are your age, right? How do your friends feel about you being this designer and this model and this actress?
I inspire most of my friends to become a designer, an actress, and model.
Nice.
So,
Where does Charlie see herself as a professional in the next, let's say you're 9, you have 9 more years. Granted, you're living your dream now, right? By 18, where do you see yourself and where do you see your career?
I see that I've gone really far,
Okay.
and I'm proud of myself and happy of how far and everything that I've done so far.
Yeah. How does it feel to have a really big support system? Because I was talking to Mama, and Mama says that you have her, then you have siblings that are also partaking in this family business, right? So tell me a little bit about everybody's role in your career.
So, my sister Natalie, she's 16. She likes special effects makeup,
Okay.
and she's also doing digital art.
Okay.
My sister Sam, she 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 is helping children.
Okay.
I think with autism. I
Okay.
think to like communicate more and use more of their senses.
Oh, and to kind of work on their speech.
Yes.
Okay. That's cool.
My sister Sierra, she is my oldest sister,
Okay.
and she does sound and music
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
and also painting. So, yeah.
So, in a way, you have somebody for everything. So, you have a sister who does makeup. So, if you ever need
Yes.
makeup done for your models and things for your runway shows, you got it. And then you have your sister who does sound. So, then from there, she's able to go ahead and maybe run the sound on your shows or whatever it is that you
Yes.
need. That's so awesome. How do you feel having such all the support around you?
I'm very happy and proud that they want to help me.
Yeah. So, young lady, we have a surprise. Yes. So, in a couple of weeks, what will Charlie be doing?
I will be having adults model on TV.
Doing?
Um, doing like business outfits.
Your business attire. So, for those of you who do not know, Miss Charlie here will be working with me to present her designs on a show that we are working on called Mañana Latina. And she is going to be, so I will be styling for business looks, and we will be accessorizing those looks. But Charlie was gracious enough to be a gem and bring her designs on the show so we can see what business looks like. So thank you so much for that, Charlie.
You're welcome.
Are you excited?
Yes,
Is
very.
this your first time that you've had your designs on a show?
Yes, I might have more of my designs on Fox News.
When is this happening, Charlie? When is this? Oh my gosh,
I'm
how
not sure.
cool.
They're still working on it though.
That's going to be awesome. If you can get your very own segment on especially on a big news channel, how cool is that? Are you excited?
Yes. I'm very excited.
Have you done any traveling for your shows?
I've gone to New York and I've also gone to North Carolina.
Nice. What is your dream place that you want to display your things? Where would you want to do? Where would be your dream place to do a runway show?
Um, I'm not sure.
You don't have a dream place yet?
Not yet.
Have you ever considered like Paris, Milan, things like that? Or you think it's like, it's just Paris and Milan?
Kind of both.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times we do these things for the love of it and not necessarily for the status.
Yeah.
Do you think that's where you're at in your career?
Yes.
You think that's where you'll stay?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that when you do it for the love of the art, you're a lot more successful because the opportunities just come.
Yeah.
And if you're out there like looking and shooting for the stars, oh, let's go to Paris, let's go here, let's go there, you lose the whole purpose of why you started to begin with.
Yeah.
But I will say, young lady, I am very, very, very inspired by you. I think you are a force to be reckoned with. Let's talk about some of the projects that you have coming up.
So, in the spring next year, I'm getting ready for a Indian goddess show.
Okay.
So, I'm still booking a few shows for next year,
Okay.
but I'm really excited for the Indian goddess show.
So tell us a little bit about that. Like, what exactly does the Indian goddess show entail?
So, I'm gonna look up how they dress and
Okay.
what fabrics they use.
Okay.
So, I'm really excited for that.
So you're going to do a line of Indian goddess wear.
Yes.
Is this for adults or for children?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see that, and we will definitely be on the lookout for that. What else do you have coming up?
Like I said, I'm still booking things, so I'm not sure yet.
But that's your next next project. Amazing. So there is something that you have going on, young lady, a TV feature of sorts, right?
Yes.
So you are doing something for a network. Explain what you will be doing.
So I'm going to have a gown on TV.
Okay.
On PBS, and I'm really excited for it.
Okay.
I'm still making it, but I'm really, really excited.
So what exactly will you be doing for PBS? What type of show?
So I'm making this gown for a lady that is in the circus.
Okay.
And it's going to be on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And so I'm actually really, really excited for it, though.
So is this going to be a live show, or when is it going to air?
It's going to be live, yes.
Also on Christmas Eve?
Yes.
So we'll be able to tune in and to see your work on PBS live on Christmas Eve. Do you know the time it's going to air? It will be airing from 3 to 6 p.m. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So when it is closer to the time, definitely let me know or tag me in it so I can repost it for you, and then we can have all of our guests watch.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on, Charlie. You're such a gem.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that concludes our episode for today. Thank you guys for joining us for Boss Babe Week. And I don't think she knew that. You, young lady, are a part of what we call for the month Boss Babe Week. And these are just women who are in the industry, who are making a name for themselves and kicking butt doing it.
Okay.
So you guys tune in next week for another great episode. And thank you for joining the DC Power Hour. Until next time.
My Instagram is Charlie Fashion Designs. That's my fashion page. And my personal page is Charlie Graham 77.